What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are really taking their industry by. Today, we have the honor, pleasure, and distinction of sitting down with now Power 106 host, legendary funny guy, Mr. All-Around comedian, and just all-around online personality, Javen Cannon. Javen, thank you so much for coming in and kicking with me, man. I appreciate it. I know this is a long time coming, so I'm glad I was able to do this.
Nah, man, of course. It's an honor to see, you know what I'm saying, a fellow Stro,
Yeah.
Hall brother, Howard, man, out here doing big things, you know what I'm saying? We met on some, in the basement, Stro, getting our moves together type thing. I was yelling at you, making you do push-ups, and now you got your own little situation I can pull up on. I'm proud to see it, my boy.
Thank you. And we do a lot of the same stuff, right? But I feel like when people, and I want you to really like speak to this, because a lot of people don't think being funny is a skill set. They think that you either are funny or you're not funny. They don't think that it's a job or a trait that you can develop and be better at. So can you speak to developing your skill set of being funny, right? Having that stage presence, knowing when to punch in, knowing when to reel back, and developing that aspect of your career?
Well, I think the first understanding, like once you start talking about like skill sets, is understanding like the difference between talents and skill. You know what I'm saying? I think that might be like a cliche Will Smith quote somewhere. But
Right.
but it's real. Like, you know what I'm saying, I kind of tend to lean in that same understanding where talent is something that's kind of God-given, like your height, you know what I'm saying, your singing ability, your voice. Um, but all talents can be cultivated into skill sets, stuff that you put work in, that you actively, you know what I'm saying, put some sweat equity in, some time equity into to get better and develop. I think to your question, a lot of people kind of think comedy is just a talent. Like
Right.
being funny is a talent, something that you just kind of born with, which in a lot of cases it is. Um, some people, what I've learned through the process of wilding out and working behind the scenes is that there are some people that just doesn't understand humor and like the
Right.
format of funny. But as much as it is a talent, it is a skill set too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is a muscle. Um, Similar to working out. Yeah, you kind of know a thing or two about that. Like certain people do have certain talents where their physique is kind of capable of carrying more weight, or you know what I'm saying, being a little naturally stronger. But time in the gym pays dividends. So me personally, my journey, I've always kind of been like a silly guy, funny guy, class clown, kind of one of the more funnier people typically in whatever area that I've been in. But there's a difference between being professionally funny, like be funny right
Right.
now. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Typically, I get to be funny whenever it come out naturally. If that joke didn't work, it was
Right.
cool. Why nobody paying me for this? But to be funny on the spot, to be funny over one time and then duplicate it multiple times, it definitely takes practice. And just like anything is, being around people, being in the environment, being putting the work in, just time and dedication, researches, all of the same things that, the ways that you cultivate any skill. The only way that you're gonna get bigger, stronger is you can go to the gym, but then you have to learn how to, work out, learn how to eat right, learn how to couple things together and really put that time in. So it's the same thing. Being around a legendary, funny people, some of the best to do it helps. Working out with your
Right.
strong friend help. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things kind of translate, whether it be, being funny or learning how to edit something, going to the gym, working on basketball, like it's all kind of the same formula. It's just figuring out how does it apply here. So I
And
took
then you
those
get
same
on a
steps.
show like, Wildin' Out, and obviously, elephant in the room, Nick Cannon is your brother, right? So he makes the show when you're in elementary school. I remember you posted saying that your brother showed you the pilot episode on a camcorder, right? We don't even got those no more. So now you're sitting here, right? Sitting here as an adult. And was it always in the plans to say, yeah, I'm always gonna do Wildin' Out, I'm always gonna get on there, I'm gonna work towards getting on the show, getting a cast? Or was it something that you looked at when you were younger, said this show was cool, and then as you got older, graduated Howard, obviously, and then was going into your professional career, Wildin' Out was just now back on the table for you? What was the decision in, deciding to do a show like Wildin' Out?
For real, a little of both. One, the fact that this is my big brother, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of, I had that same big brother, the typical standard big brother, little brother relationship where I want to do whatever my big brother did. So not only is this Nick, is 3 other ones in between us who are all, almost basically 10 years older than me. So I had a
Right.
blueprint mapped out already. I knew what I was going to be doing at, 14 by the time I was 4. Like I
Right.
seen it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when it actually gets time to like something more specific, like wilding out, seeing it on the camcorder helped. I always knew whatever my brother's doing, I'm doing it anyway. So we
Right.
act in this family. I'm the nicest one. You feel me? We like to sing and dance in this family. I'm Michael Jackson. It's okay. It's all right. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That's my mentality anyway. So one, it was always written in the cards. I always wanted to do. I always just wanted to, be like my big brothers. As
Right.
I got older, and I had to form my own identity, figure out what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what I liked and what I didn't like. I think the other half of that is just speaking to giving my brother his props and speaking to what he was able to accomplish for a show to be around long enough for me to be in elementary school when it
Right.
first aired, and then me be a grown adult, able to, that it still exists to work on.
Right.
Like I said, there's 3 brothers in between me. So Nick being my oldest brother, my second oldest brother, he worked on Wildin' Out and took
Right.
similar steps to me. And when the original Wildin' Out, the OG Wildin' Out, and when it went away and it came back and my brother revamped it, I was able to follow the steps of another brother following the steps of my other brother. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Right.
kind of always something that I was aware is a possibility. But the fact that it's been a long, like I said, me and my brother are 10 years apart. So this generation of brothers, this
Right.
show has been around. So in that way, you can never really plan for that. So kind of to the second part of your question, some of that is just, lightning in a bottle and a testament to, what my brother created.
Right.
So it's a combination of both. It's dual purpose. I feel like a lot of my answers to the questions are going to be both. You feel me?
No,
So.
that's great. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes life does have that nuances, have a lot of that gray areas, not either or. And what I'm seeing is that you guys have like a Wayne's brother situation, right? Like very in-house in the family. Is that the ethos that kind of carried you guys forward? Where it's like, yeah, like we have the blueprint here, right? Like obviously Nick being the oldest one, but you guys all stepping in and contributing your own talents, finding your own path, and then building your own path from those from what you guys are cultivating as a family. Is family at the center of what you guys or the decision you guys make collectively as a unit?
Yes and no and no and yes. You feel me?
Nice.
I'm a nuanced guy. You feel me? Everything about me
I
comes with
like that.
layers.
I
You
like
feel
that.
me? So on one hand, absolutely yes. Because all of this, dancing in the world of entertainment and creativity stems from my pops. You feel me? He put it in Nick. He
Right.
put it in me and the rest of my brothers. In terms of that was a camcorder rolling at all
Right.
times in pretty much all of our lives. Like my dad made us perform. There's videos of Nick and my older brothers before I was born, dancing and singing to the Jacksons and to gospel songs and just forming their own little group. And there's old cassette tapes that exist somewhere in my house of my brother's first directorial debut at 11, producing the Ninja Turtle remake with my other brothers and
Nice.
action figures. You feel me? Like my pops like put that in us early, and that just became a thing. So, Nick was the first one to do it at the time, the biggest one to do it. But this is very much so like just a family business. Like his story starts back,
Right.
in North Carolina, maybe even before it, probably before that. But just with my pops, like just grinding towards stuff and being on a public access television show and interviewing prominent people around the city of Charlotte, like when he probably like maybe 9, 10 years old type of thing.
Right.
And that just continues. So on one hand, like this, it trickled down to the point where I'm born, and by the time I'm 2 years old, he's Nick Cannon on Nickelodeon and has already kind of found his footing and started to build the foundation of who he would become. So he's been famous for as long as I know. So that's just the family business on one hand. But then on the other hand, one thing that going to Howard and kind of my age distance between everybody else and kind of being able to walk my own path because of it has taught me is just like what separation in the family does. Because
Right.
my
Right. Right.
you know what I'm saying, the distance in age is one thing, but then I wasn't really raised with my parents, seeing my parents together. And Nick is my father's son, I'm my mother's son. So, you know, that dynamic on top of everything. And even my mom's kids, you know, moved away from the house when I was 7. So as much as all of this family connectivity that I have to, you know, just my family and entertainment, I was raised like an only child after the point of 7. So, you know what I'm saying? Dual purpose, you know what I'm saying? The little nuance. So, yes, all of it is, you know, super tight knit within my family. But for me personally, there's, you know, a lot of elements that I had to like kind of walk alone and find things and discover things for myself. Just kind of based on the evidence and the fossils that my brothers kind of left around from their time being around. So,
And then what sort of highlights, what things did you take away, or are you currently taking away? Because you guys just wrapped up, I think, season 22.
21, yes, sir. Yes,
21,
21
yes.
of them
You
things.
just wrapped up, shooting for
22
21.
coming soon.
Congratulations. So I hope so, because I've been watching this show since as long as I can remember. You know what I'm saying? Like watching D. Ray Davis. You know what I'm saying? Chico Bean, Carlos Miller. Like I've been watching these people for years. So, and obviously you're a fan. So now, me as a fan, I could talk to you as a fellow fan who now works there, is employed by the Wild 'N Out, you know, on a Wild 'N Out payroll. What highlights do you have taken away from Wild 'N Out? Like, what sort of things do you enjoy? What sort of things shocked you? Like, what was it like being? What is it like? Because you currently are. What is it like being a part of the cast?
Man, we can be here all day. There's so many. Like, shocking is kind of like I spoke to it. You want to talk about things that shock me? Is I really sit down and just blow my mind that dang, my brother created this. My brother, who's literally 10 years older than me, worked on it, and now here I am 10 years later, like still able to work on, like that's not normal. There's nothing normal about that. So that's incredible. We talked about that already, no pun intended. Thing, like one of my standout moments, I think maybe you mentioned it again too, just being a fan. Like I was a fan of this first. Like I remember, like again, in that same area with all those cassette tapes of my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Being young in times before I was born, is cassette tapes of me recording over other stuff to record Wild 'N Out. You feel me? In 3rd grade, like, you know what I'm saying, having to pop out the little square and chew up the news, not the newspaper or the what is it, the paper towels, and stick it in. See, this might have been before your time. This might have been before your time, Kachi. You might not know about how to record over the VCR.
I remember I had the VHS tapes. I had to get the little pencil in the jar and then rewind it. And my mom hated it because I think you're not supposed to do that. I didn't know that. But you're not supposed to do that, and all the tape is falling out and everything.
Yeah, so I got a pile of them of just like anything Wild 'N Out, like just watching it, recording over it to watch it later. I didn't care about the TV schedule. So the fact that I'm here, like, or even that's when I was a kid, but even being a fan of the Carlos Millers of the world, and you know what I'm saying, being a fan of DC Young Fly before he's able to be associated with Wild 'N Out, being fans of Hitman Holler, like I was a big avid battle rap fan way before, you know, Hitman or Conceited or Charlie Clips touched a Wild 'N Out stage. I knew who these dudes were. I'm rapping their bars, you know what I'm saying, almost verse for verse, just because I'm a fan of battle rap. For them to then be associated with my brother, and then for me to be able to call some of these people my homies, like to be able to dap them up, to be able to work with them, to be able to crack jokes with them, for some of these people to even come touch platforms that I created that has nothing to do with, you know, Wild 'N Out or my brother, like just out of the love of me. You can't ask for nothing better, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? I used to treat battle rap like wrestling, and Hitman was The Rock.
Yeah,
you know
oh my God, yeah.
Or Stone Cold, Steve Austin, he was Stone Cold. I used to hate Stone Cold. That was him. Like I used to hate Hitman Holler, but then to then grow up on this person and then understand him past this character battle rap, but no, understand this real person, and now this person is my friend, and I still can hate on him as a battle rapper because I was a fan of that first. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, man.
And I can hate on him to his face because you can FaceTime him now.
Cause you the homie, and I can tell you, ooh, you lost that win, but you know what I'm saying? That's my man, though, at the end of the day. So, and nothing but love. So just to be able to have that of people that you were genuinely fan of, I didn't have to become fan of these people. I didn't have to get introduced to these people. I was a fan already, and now we was able to share the stage together. You know, that's amazing. I can go on and on, man. Like, what else? What else you want to know?
Well, I would love to know because for us, you guys are hilarious. Like I love my favorite games is like Pick Up and Kill It. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I love the Nick Cannon is so fly. I love those, you know what I'm saying? I love this bit. I love this bit takes, you know what I'm saying? I love the Plead the Fifth. The Plead the Fifth is probably top 5. That's probably top 5. And obviously, you know what I'm saying, the wild style. But are all of these, are these on the spot? Are these on the fly, like impromptu, like things that you guys are doing? Or how much of it is scripted and how much of it is on the fly?
Oh, so you asking for the secret sauce. You want the Krabby Patty
yeah,
formula.
of course. That's why I have the show. You know what I'm saying? I get y'all comfortable so I can get the secrets.
Okay. Well, look, we'll do it like this. Just because you my mans and we go way back, I'll give you a little tea. People often like to say, there's no way that these people are this fast. There's no way that they just quit. They must be scripting this stuff and yada, 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 and so on. And I hate to tell you people, this is really some of the best people, most talented people, quickest people in the world. Like, I hate to tell you. So the majority of it is freestyle, like off the top of the head. Like, I'm saying this right now. Now, when I say the majority of it, it's like all people, like it's the production people. Like there's a TV, there's a camera here. We have to make sure that this looks good for camera. So some of this has to be blocked for stage, and I have to know that I'm gonna walk to this spot and so on and so forth. Or even, you know, I know that we're gonna wild style every episode, and I seen who was on the other team, you know what I'm saying, when they picked them. So I can okay, I might have wrote this yesterday.
Okay.
Now, I might want to say, you know what I'm saying, Charlie Clips sound like Charlie Chips. I want to say something along. Like,
right.
I just got to figure out between now and it's time to say it, what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So, but that's freestyle, though. That's still 100% freestyle. All of those people going up to, you know what I'm saying, your favorite radio station aren't necessarily creating those lines in that very moment. This might be a verse I wrote 2 years ago that I mixed in with something that I wrote yesterday, that I just freestyled those last 4 bars, and then I went back into the other, you know what I'm saying? And that sounds like, oh, yeah, that's it. But try to do it. That's anybody, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, when they told me WWE was fake, I lost my marbles. So this definitely restored my faith in entertainment and knowing that you guys are still doing this stuff impromptu and on the fly.
Run up on Charlie Clips if you want to, trying to round words together, and you'll see like, oh, he's an alien. Go try to talk some joint to DC and try think because you funny and you made your classmates laugh. That your mind works as fast as a DCM flyer or Carlos Miller. I promise you it don't. I promise you you're gonna embarrass yourself. I promise you these are some of the quickest people in the world that have been studying their craft for years upon years. Like going back to the difference between being funny, you know what I'm saying, amongst your peers and being funny professionally. Like, you know what I'm saying, Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying, Stephen Curry, all of the greats, they thought about shooting the basketball every day. You just go to the park and hoop. It's not the same. It's not the same. Everything, my preparation goes into being great at this thing. So play with them if you want to. Think y'all ain't really freestyling for real. And when you see them next time at one of their shows, test their hand. And I'm saying, good luck.
I'm saying, bro, I be on YouTube. I could be on YouTube for hours watching Wild 'N Out. Oh my God, y'all are so funny. And now going into like
tell people, Kachi, play with me. Play with me if you want to. I don't have to hurt many feelings because people thought it was sweet. And yeah, you not Carlos Miller. You can't talk about my shoes, my boy. I got comebacks. Stop playing with me.
Y'all probably roasting each other all day. Like
you not at this level. I do this professionally.
The cap sessions must be OD.
Oh man, legendary. Like the funniest stuff definitely is never on camera. Like you'll never see, like being able to kick it with like some of the funniest people in the world, you know what I'm saying, all day, then go over to the corner and then rap with some of the best rapper freestylers in the world. It's just like, it shows at all times. It's a movie happening everywhere.
Oh yeah. And you know, like with Wild 'N Out, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've watched many a great Black individual, right, come into the show as a cast member and then go on and do multitude of amazing things, right? And even people that are coming and doing amazing things like the DC Young Fly, right? We all know him coming, roasting people on Instagram to now being one of the hottest premiere acts on the Wild 'N Out stage, right? So it's beautiful to see one where you're in the company with, right? All the people that you're in the company with and where you're about to go. And also like transition into Power 106 right now. Wild 'N Out, a cast member, really funny, stage presence, making people laugh, bringing them in, making an experience for them because you also have like a studio audience as well. And then Power 106, where things are probably not as funny, right? You're interviewing, again, fans of people you're fans of, like the Roddy Riches or, all these other music artists and all these other personalities. Did you have to learn, or was there a certain learning curve that you had to tap into to go from on-stage personality to then radio host and then interviewer?
Oh no, there was a million learning curves. Like it was
Yeah.
like crazy. Like for one, because my role while I was at Power 106 had changed so many times over. And never formally, of course, like that's not how life really comes at you most times.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As you just kind of progress in things, certain things get added to your plate, certain things get taken away to have more, bigger, heavier things added to your plate. And that's just kind of how it goes. And that's just how you matriculate through. So when I first got there, I was working as a creative, like a digital creative writer, I think was the title.
Okay.
Directly under my brother's morning show. I think there's a plane going by. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know what you're hearing, but I'll let it go over for a second.
No, I can definitely still hear you.
All right, okay, for sure. But yeah, so I was working as like a digital content creator on paper. All that really meant was that I helped my brother do whatever he needs to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of what happened when, you know what I'm saying? That when you that guy, they let you kind of do whatever and figure out the rest later. But that lasted probably all of like 35 seconds. And then my brother being who my brother is, oh, that's the case though. There's always something to do. So that kind of turned into what, unofficially became me just producing different type of segments. And part of those learning curves is the unofficial part, you feel me? And dealing with yourself and your own emotions as you go through these bumps and bruises and, learn. Dealing with yourself and your emotions of it being unofficial and feeling like you're overlooked and feeling like you have more to do is just part of the process. And all of those things end up, coming back full circle later. So initially, like I said, I'm producing different segments. My brother will have an idea for, he wants to interview or, have some kids call in and tell a joke every morning and the funniest joke wins, blah, 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 blah. I had to go find them kids, Kachi, and I don't know kids. Like, where am I supposed to find a bunch of, and it's not like 11-year-old, like where am I supposed to find a bunch of 5, 6, 7, 8?
Wow. And you can't just go into a school and be like, hey, yo, give me y'all
Hey,
kids.
I'm a black man. How you doing? How you doing? I'm a black man. I got a job at the radio. I don't have no credential. I don't have no badge that say Mr. Black Man at the radio, nothing. I'm gonna get arrested, Kachi, so I can't do that. I just gotta figure out how to find a bunch of kids. And that's just one segment. You know what I'm saying? It turns out that I think I ended up producing like 4 or 5 different full segments, packaging,
so
editing,
you found them
finding,
kids though.
You thought I was gonna tell this man no? He thought he was like, nah, I can't find them kids, bro. I think we're gonna have to rethink something. Nah, that's not how you do that. And that's part of the learning curve is, okay, well, there's a task. Let's figure out how to go about doing it. And it teaches you a lot about yourself. Like you can get pretty much anything done if you really look hard enough. If you try to figure it out, you can get there. So that was my initial journey. A lot of things happened in between, to start and when I first officially switched. Part of that is being, a little cancellation. You feel me?
Right.
I survived the cancellation storm. You feel me?
A couple fires. Of course.
You feel me? A couple fires, hold on. We'll get back to y'all. Let's just wait till this storm pass over. You feel me?
Right.
Once the storm passed over, we got back to it, and things started to shift between, just the show and how things were structured. So it got to a point where I just figured, well, my brother's not, here as much anymore. His role is kind of shifting. They're moving things around with the morning show. I probably should start looking for a job, huh? Like it probably should make sense because I was doing everything that he not here no more.
Right.
So I don't know what I'm gonna be doing.
Right.
You feel me? I'm gonna be on Indeed on this clock though. You feel me? Find my next gig. I would be on. But like I said, how it works out, all of your efforts pay off. the hard part is getting through the unofficial part is what we'll call it for now, or the storms, or doing the work or the grinding portion. But somebody see you, and I didn't know it, but somebody clearly saw my talents and my efforts, and just talking and being myself as I'm
Right.
trying to find these damn kids, and
Right.
one of our producers believed that hey, I think you have the talent to like talk on air, like you go
Mhm.
crazy every time we put you on the mic. You hit it out the park. You always have a funny perspective. You got an interesting life stories and so on and so forth. I think you should try it. And she actually fought with me. So her name's Nora Baba. She
Nice.
literally was one of the first people in my, I guess, career to literally fight for me. Like, no, he can do it, because nobody else in that building was looking for me to do that. It was,
Right.
her, all of the trust and the like trust, I guess, she was able to build in that building. And the fact that she was fighting so hard for me personally, and she had just, was the producer for Nick Cannon in his morning show, and she believed in this dude. Let's see what happened. And
Yeah, see what's going
from
on. Right.
there,
Exactly.
I didn't plan for this. And next thing they know, she texted me like, "Hey, I think we can get you on on the morning show." Let's just
Wow.
what? Like what? Okay. So now I'm talking. So again, the original question is the learning curve. Now that's a whole different learning curve of like, I studied a lot of radio interviews, all of the Breakfast Club, all of the Big Boys, all of the Hot 97, but I
Right.
always watched it from the artist perspective, figuring I'm gonna be in the other
Right.
chair.
Okay.
Like I got to figure out how to handle these questions when people ask me.
Right.
I never
Right.
thought I would be the one asking the questions, and
Asking
here I am.
questions.
Wow,
Right.
just so it's crazy how life works. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna get to where you need to be. You just might not be in the seat you thought you was gonna be.
Right.
But just believing and realizing that none of this is in vain, that everything happened for a reason. And if you trust and believe in that and you work hard enough, you'll eventually see that, dang, I guess all them times on YouTube watching these interviews wasn't for nothing. Would you look at that? Okay. My
Right.
mama said I was
Exactly.
wasting my time.
And that's what I mean. We ain't no Rosenberg or no big boy, but now you finally in the artist chair and you answering
You feel
questions.
me?
So
You
you
feel
know
me? You
it's
feel me?
it's
Life come full
it
circle.
definitely does speak to, like you said, life is a full circle, and having and not being so caught up in yourself that you're losing sight of your own talent and your own potentiality, right? Because someone is always watching. So, and going now to Power 106, what is it like? What's it like now, like being in a chair and then you're interviewing? You're not just interviewing like local personalities, right? Like on public access radio, you're interviewing A-list celebrities, right? You're interviewing these individuals that are making major strides in the industry, and they're on your show. So does that change or affect how you go into the show, or is it always just Javen Cannon? I'm just giving me, and they're just gonna have to like it.
See, okay, so here's how it works. Here's one thing you got to know about your boy. Not only am I nuanced, what I'm saying, and multifaceted, and what I'm saying,
Uh
layered,
huh.
but because of that, I never ultimately end up staying in one place too long. So because of I'm
Right.
saying, all of the ins and outs and the shenanigans, not playing. But nah, for real, for real. I actually am no longer working at Power 106, and
Okay.
the way things work for me, I tend to f up. Like I tend to,
Right.
find myself elevating and evolving and kind of, in better situations. And similar happens now. But to answer your question, it was a lot. It was a lot having to, because again, like I said, I didn't really expect to be here. This is not one of those
Right.
situations where it's like, for one thing that I think that helped me get to where I am is always be honest with yourself about what you are. Like a pure 100% honest self-assessment is what I try to give myself. I think it's what you have to do to stay humble, to stay even
Right.
killed. It's easy to
Right.
get caught up in your own hype or even get caught up in the negativity. But what do I think of me? And one thing that I was able to do by doing that is understand that, okay, this is like a lot of people's dream. Like this is
Right.
their, like, people have fought tooth and nail, and since they was little kids listening to the radio, wanted to be in the seat that I sit. And I understood that that's not true for me. That's not the
Right.
case for me. I didn't dream to be in it. I wanted to be the person getting interviewed. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
this is where I found myself. Um, but that kind of was allowed me to do is take it for the proper perspective, and hold it at the proper place. It is like, okay, let me not take this for granted though. Just
Right,
because
right.
this is necessarily not something that I wrote on my vision board, but this is an opportunity that was placed because, God and whoever's in this room saw something in me, and this is part of my story. So let me take full advantage. So that's what I did. I dove head first and kind of figured it out. I was
Nice.
tossed into the ocean and just had to kind of figure out how to swim. Some of those learning curves is that very thing though. There's easily can be an imposter syndrome that kind of starts to set in. It's like, dang, like people really dream to do this and I didn't.
Right, right.
As good as that sounds on one hand, and that sounds cool to say it from, I ain't asked to be here. They asked me to be
Right,
here.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I'm saying I ain't even want to do this. Yeah. That
Right.
sounds cool to say to your homies, but in reality, once you have to walk it and sit with it every day, it's like, dang, like people literally dream to be here and you see it. Like
Right.
you see the excitement and you see the prep and you hear the stories. And since I was 5 years and I don't have that story, like, am I supposed to be here? Do I fit in?
Right, right.
And having to work through that part. So when I first, and crazier thing is I didn't start off interviewing, I'm saying, local person here.
Right,
To your
exactly.
point, this Power 106. I think my second interview was Roddy Rich. My
Right,
first
exactly.
interview was RZA. You feel
Right.
a legend, an icon,
Right.
a hip hop royal. And I have no prep time. It was literally, hey Javen, you want to do this interview? I was like, huh? Yes. I ain't scared of nothing.
Right.
But RZA, I ain't got a haircut. I ain't dressed for this. I don't got no questions.
He's like, what am I about to wear? Do I need to get showered? 3 showers? Like,
no, you don't get to do nothing. He's here now. Do you want to come do this interview?
Wow.
Yeah, let's go do this interview.
Sure, why not? Right.
And the time that I get up and I walk to where I go do the interview, you think of some questions and you try to do the best. Like, oh my God, let me put my hat on a little lower.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? My second interview was Roddy Rich. So I think when I look back at those first couple, it's like, look at that nervous little, like, You know what I'm saying? But quickly, I kind of saw myself get a little more comfortable. And that just literally comes from telling, like, you deserve to be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you work to be here. People see it. You might not see it because it's you living your story, but everything that you've done before has built up to this moment. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. I personally believe that God don't give you nothing that you're not ready for. So you're here. And doing it, starting that process, having those nerves in the beginning, being able to see yourself do well, finding your comfort zone, my bad. That goes back into the process of building your confidence for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So giving you that, like, wait, I've been nervous before and I perform through these nerves. Like I felt like I wasn't deserving and then I had to show myself that I was. And then and then when I look back on that moment that I thought I wasn't deserving, I think back to college and high school. Like, I've been doing this. Wait a minute. At this point,
right.
The first couple years, I thought it was luck, but at this point, we going on, and that's just kind of what not being afraid of the moment, or maybe even having fear, but not letting that fear stop you. That's all I do. Like, just face those moments. If you feel like it's too big for you, that's perfect. Grow into it. You feel me? Why would you want to be something too small for you? That's more uncomfortable. So that was just kind of the things that, in that time, I had to tell myself as I'm learning this beast that I never thought I would really be a part of.
And I love that note you made of, like, if something's too big for you, if you feel like something's too big for you, grow into it, right? Like, I feel like a lot of people, especially like creatives, it's like, I'm not ready for this, or this moment, I don't know if I'm gonna do well or whatever have you. And it's like, of course you're not gonna do well. You've never been here before, like this is now the next step. Now you have to learn you have to do the exact same thing you did to get here. You have to grow. So I definitely love that that note, and I know a lot of people would appreciate that as well. So now you're talking about elevating and growing, and no longer with 106. Are you currently at Wild 'N Out full time, or are there other projects that we should be looking out for from you?
So see, here's how this entertainment thing works. That's why you got to pray for us creatives and us entertainers. I'm saying, because it's ebbs and flows. So the way Wild 'N Out was, we shot season 21, which is like 30 episodes, which sounds like we was there for a long time. We shot those 30 episodes in 10 days. 3 episodes.
Dang.
3 episodes a day.
Dang though.
In and out, 10 days, couple off days. Get up out of here. We don't got time for this. We've been doing this 21 seasons. So we know exactly how to get this done.
Right.
Efficiently, quickly, in and out, well-oiled machine. So things like that, shows like that, oftentimes aren't the things that sustain you. We have to find different ways to, to continue these things year round. But lucky for me, you know what I'm saying, I study under the tutelage of a person that don't believe in having less than 5 jobs at a time. You feel me?
Right, exactly.
Worked a little bit everywhere at the same time. So following under those footsteps, you feel me? There's the Daily Cannon morning show that I'm a producer on, which is, my brother said, forget that radio stuff. We're going to build our own little platform to partner with AMP, with Amazon. And now every morning from, depending on the time that you're in, it's 6 to 9 on the West Coast. So what that makes 9 to 12 East Coast and
9 to 12,
whatever. Whatever the middle people is talking about.
Right.
So that's one gig. I was also fortunate to literally immediately after I started working at Power 106, was able to work as a producer for the Future Superstars tour.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It took 10 up-and-coming artists, people that you are probably very familiar with, from the Hitman Hollis to the Symbols of the world, to the Big Boss
I've been trying to get
world.
Symbol on the show. I've been trying to get Symbol on my show. I've been DMing him. I've been emailing him. Oh, my God.
I'm saying that's the big homie
if you can shoot him some, you know what I'm saying?
I might see what I can do for you, just because you the homie. You feel me? I don't normally do stuff like that for people, but you know what I'm saying? You my guy. So I hit my man. I'm going to the Bay next month to finish shooting some of the content that we're doing for the Future Superstar tour. Like I said, it was a tour. I went to 10 up-and-coming artists, kind of toured them around. I think we went to around like 15, 20 cities or so. Showcasing their talent similar to like what Berry Gordy did in the Motown days. Where you took your Supremes and Diana Ross, and Temptation, all those joints, and toured around the city, or the Chitlin circuit as they call it.
Right.
Really just touching bases with the people, and grassroots marketing is all it is. So we're doing that same thing. My brother's doing that while also leading a seminar, bringing creative people from said city, movers and shakers in the industry, to sit down and really teach what it takes to be a superstar. Like I said, we did that for about 15, 20 cities. But then there's a television component that will be announced real soon, that I was able to and still doing, producing that aspect of it. So between that, like I said, a while and out, the morning show, I'm up early and I sleep, sleep short. So there's a lot of running around between, music, television, just entertainment as well. So and then that's just the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, the corporate checks, my day job. And then there's always that alter ego of the King Cannon, you know what I'm saying, that I'm always working on and building, and with whether music and my own shows that I'm actually in the process of producing. We're in the last couple stages to that, so hopefully I'll be able to announce something soon. But like I said, some of those, my relationships that I was able to build from wilding out, taking those same things, taking those same lessons that I learned there, and building my own. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, I'm working on a show. I already started shooting a couple episodes for it, and you know what I'm saying, I got a couple people interested, so you'll be hearing about that real soon.
Nice. And you guys could all check out all these updates. Follow my guy Javen on Instagram at the King Cannon, no underscores, no spaces.
None of that.
Because you're talking about a lot of producing of the shows, are you more do you feel like you're more inclined in the behind the scenes, the production of shows, or, as we know, you guys have to check them out on YouTube, being on stage and being in front of the camera? Like, where do you feel like your heart really lies when it comes to this entertainment industry?
I think, like I said, the school that I was studied under, the Nick Cannon School of Entertainment, and my big dog do a little bit of everything. It would be kind of hard pressed to name one industry or one job that he holds that stands out. Is like, his expertise is that he does a little bit of everything. I think, our family motto is, a jack of all trades, a master of none. People don't finish the quote. That's not the end of it all. A jack of
Oh,
all
really?
trade, a
Okay.
master. Yeah. The full quote is a jack of all trade and a master of none is normally better than a master of one. You feel me? That's the
Oh,
full joint. You know what I'm saying? People cut it off to you. It's all
right.
good. You got to keep reading. But that's kind of what my pops instilled in him, and also instilled in us. And then, Nick was able to grasp onto it to kind of magnify that. That people kind of try to put you in a box or limit you to, what they're capable of. But I'm not one that believes that there's an or.
Right.
People put into me that you can do all things. All things are possible, not just some. Of course, focus and timing and putting all of your energy into a thing to find success. And there's certain rules that that apply in terms of finding success in a thing. But once you understand that, why limit yourself to doing one thing?
Right.
So
Exactly.
I plan to produce. I'm not even planning. I am producing. I am, talent in front of the camera, in front of a microphone. I am, directing and doing all of the things behind the scenes. In terms of producing my own show, like this, I started it up with my own money. So I
Right.
executive
Wow.
produced it. You know what I'm saying? I financed it. I literally planned it out. So I did literally every part of it. I was the travel agent for the show. And I think
Wow.
whether that's entertainment, or just anybody with a dream, um, that comes from self, like a self-generated dream, whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever the case, you can't be one thing. Like, so to ask, an entrepreneur, what do you do? Whether they have a cleaning business, yeah, I have a cleaning business, but I've also was the secretary for this bad boy for a long time, and I was also,
Right.
what
Right.
I'm saying, I was the cleaner like for a long time. Now I can sit in this executive role, and I do all our taxes. Like, what I'm saying,
Right.
where there's a clothing line, you can't just draw. Like, you have to do every part to manifest what's inside your mind and inside your heart out. So I try not to limit myself to one thing. There's not one thing that can describe who I am. So I'm a producer, I'm a rapper, I'm a writer, I'm a performer, I'm an actor, I'm a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's incredible. Pun unintended. But so you definitely gave us a lot of gems throughout this interview. And it's been a great chopping up with you. Great chopping up with you where you're not like telling me to do push-ups in the basement my freshman year. So this
Yeah,
is also
man. You
great.
know what I'm saying? Don't put, hey, drop. Not playing.
So I definitely appreciate a lot of the wisdom that you bespoke through this interview, and I just wanted to know if you had 3 lessons, 3 advice that you would love to share, just off the top of your head that you learned throughout your journey thus far that you want to share to the person watching this interview that is trying to follow their dreams, whether it be big, small, or I don't really say big or small because everyone's dreams are big, relative to them. So people following their dreams, right? Trying to find their passion. What advice do you have, or lessons do you have that you had learned throughout your life?
You said 3?
Yeah.
That's perfect because I got 3 rules of life. That, you know what I'm saying? I think I started
Nice.
writing these joints in high school. You ready? I ain't never shared these with too many people on a public platform, just the people that I love. But I love you
Hold on,
in
we got we
public. So
gotta let the people get paper and pencil real quick because this
oh
is
yeah,
this
go
is the
ahead.
King Cannon's 3 rules of life. And if y'all
I'm
didn't
telling
already
you.
see, he's interviewing. He has Simba on his phone, so I need y'all to listen up because hey,
Listen, I lived 27 years. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about everything. You feel me?
right,
I'm gonna tell you, I'm saying I'm gonna bust it down for you. Rule 1, King Cannon, rule to life. The first one is it's a simple one. Always remain humble. You feel me? There's a lot to go on in life. There's a lot of wins. There's a lot of losses. And it's crazy because a lot of people like try to like down the word humble these days and think that it means small and so on and so forth. But
right,
in one sense, we are small. Like when you figure out how big this world is, how big your city is, then you start zooming out. And I'm saying how big this country is, how big this world is, how
right,
big this universe is. Like, man, okay, I might chill out a little bit. I guess
right,
everything's gonna have to come
exactly,
on my time. I'm not even here for that long. You know what I'm saying? But then to understand on the flip side of that is I'm able to be humble because I understand that like this is not me. Whatever I am is because there's a higher purpose, there's a higher being working in my life. And without that, I would be the dust that he created me from.
right,
So I say humility is important because it always connects you back to source. That's the thing that keeps you tapped into the higher purpose, the higher being, God, whatever you personally want to call it. I call it God. I think it's that humility, that core to like, listen, I would be nothing no matter how great I am. It would be nothing without the opportunity to, the blessing to do it, the grace to do it. So that's one. Always stay humble.
Mm-hmm.
Rule 2, always cover your ass. You feel me? I know that sounds crazy, but
Okay.
one is real personal because, you know what I'm saying? I got skinny legs and I ain't never, ever, ever let my butt out. You feel me?
Right.
So always cover your ass literally, but in the more spiritual part, the realer part
Right.
is always double check. Always watch what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things have got lost. A lot of empires that came down off of a split-second decision after a bad choice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? After a miscalculation, after a misstep. We all gonna make mistakes, but don't, do your best not to shoot yourself in the foot. You know what I'm saying? So whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? You got a little play. We're gonna talk in code. You got a play over here, whatever that play means to you.
Right.
It
Right.
might always be smart to think about, what happens just in case this, you know what I'm saying, go a little wrong.
Right.
This don't go the way that I. And again, that's keeping you humble. That's staying humble because I don't know everything. I could be wrong. In the instance that this isn't the right way to go, then what do I do? How do I go about these things? What do I, you know what I'm saying? So that's 2. What we say, always stay humble, always cover your ass. And what's the third one? I tend to do this a lot. I forget the order because I said it out of order. Oh, there's really one, but it's cool. We say the best for last. Always follow your gut. You feel me?
Yeah.
Always follow your gut. Always stay humble. Always cover your ass. Always follow your gut. It kind of all connects. Like again, when you tap into the source, when you kind of double check, and at that point, whatever you say is what you say. Like nobody can tell you about your journey. Nobody can direct you into the way to go because you ultimately know the way to go. You know what I'm saying? There's always that voice in your head that says, you should do the right thing, whatever the right thing is to you. And it's up to us to listen to it or not. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has to tell you have to lose weight or how to lose weight. I have to get up and I have to go to the gym a lot. I have to do that a lot, a whole bunch of times. I have to eat stuff I probably don't want to eat. Like, you know that innately.
Right.
Like, nobody has to tell you that. It's up to you whether you're going to figure out the regimen to do when you get to the gym and figure out the food to eat. And that's up to you, but you know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You know right from wrong. You know how to handle your friend that's tripping. I could handle it like this, but I really want to tell that,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You always, light and darkness, both of them exist within us. So always follow your gut. If you tend to align yourself in humility and you tend to try to do the best and you tend to, align yourself in light, listen to your gut. It's never gonna steer you wrong. Now, if you want them other people that be wild, and then maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should listen to somebody else.
Maybe you shouldn't follow your gut. Yeah.
I don't know, but I know for me, what's worked in my life is most times I've gotten into trouble is when I didn't follow what I initially thought was right, especially when it's one of internal feeling. You know what I'm saying? We've all changed our mind. We've all had to, maybe I should I'm only eat 2, whatever the case may be, whatever small thing that the second thought might have been the better thought, the second thing I said is always double check or, always cover your ass. But anytime I've got into like a real poor decision where I had to think about it and I remember it years later, it's always been in a situation where I knew from the start and I didn't listen to what I knew.
Freaking did it.
I shouldn't have did it in the first place. Any major mistake that sits with me, like I might have not. The small things might not matter, but any big thing is simply because I didn't do what I knew was right. And now look at me. I always follow you.
Right now, look at you. Now look at you shining.
Now look at me. You feel me?
But yo, Javen Cannon, thank you so much for coming in and blessing the Kicking It with Kachi, man, because like I said, I'm a fan of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to always give my people their roses, and you deserve 24 bouquets. You know what I'm saying? Of roses
for my boy.
The work that you've been doing, the grind you've been on. I've been watching, I've been seeing, and I'm grateful to know that you guys that Wild 'N Out is back for the 21st season because y'all had a little cancel thing going on, but y'all back. So that's good. So that's good though. And I love that that's just, you're glowing, you're smiling, you're doing your thing, and you're following your dreams, man. That's a beautiful thing to see and witness and be witness to.
Yes, sir. And likewise, I want to give you your flowers as well, man. I definitely been seeing what you've been, you know what I'm saying, doing with the consistency of putting out the show. I was telling you that a little bit before we press record on this joint. Like, I definitely see you. It definitely inspired me on my end to like keep going. Like, dang, look at my boy. I used to make them do push-ups. Now look at my boy going crazy.
I'm trying.
So yeah, and I definitely appreciate it. Super dope vibe. You know what I'm saying? It felt like we was having a FaceTime conversation. I ain't even have to get my makeup done, get touch up, none of that. You know what I'm saying? We can just kick it in politics. I appreciate it.
I like that. And I hope you guys also enjoy this interview with my guy Javen Cannon. You guys can follow him on Instagram at the King Cannon. Check him out on Wild and Out when season 21 drops. And also make sure you check out all the projects, the Cannon Morning Show, as well as any other projects that the King Cannon is dropping. Make sure you follow Instagram and YouTube. You can follow us at the DC Voice on YouTube and Instagram and check out this interview and past interviews and get updates on future interviews. Guys, I'm Kachi Analyst. It's been real. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, my brother.